So, Doctor Strange in the Multiuniverse of Madness, I finally checked it out a few days ago, and so this is going to be my spoiler-filled review for Doctor Strange in the Multiuniverse of Madness. We're going to be going step through the plot, so just spoiler warning, let's get talking about it. Okay, so Doctor Strange in the Multiuniverse of Madness takes place after Spider-Man No Way Home, and this is just my spoiler-filled review. We're going to be going through each aspect, starting right off, just jumping into it with the first scene, and I really enjoyed the first scene. So we start off with this alternate ponytail-wearing Doctor Strange with America Chavez trying to get this, opposite Darkhold, and then this, I want to say sort of mummy giant monster made of sheets of I don't even know comes out of the blue and is fighting them. It's terrifying, and I really love it. It just looks so cool and epic. And so Doctor Strange, alternate Doctor Strange, decides, hey, I'm gonna get America Chavez's powers, and he tries to steal them from her, and then he gets killed, and she and him go through the portal. And I'm like, wow, what an opening to the movie. It just sets the tone. This is darker, this is grittier, but it also is going to be very colorful and have some cool monsters in here. So I love that they were moving the camera around. I love the design of the entire place, and I was not expecting the movie to start like this. And then we meet up with our regular Doctor Strange. We have him just setting everything up and going to Christine Palmer's wedding, and you have him regretting, because we've seen it in What If Doctor Strange, which I feel like the What If Doctor Strange episode was better than this entire movie, but the entire show was probably worse because it just couldn't 100% live up to the rest of the Doctor Strange stuff. But we just understand what's going on with Doctor Strange because we've seen him in What If, we've seen him in the first Doctor Strange, and we understand where he's coming from, where he loves Christine, but he's got to be the one holding the knife, as Christine says. So I enjoyed that. It had been seen in the trailers, and so we get to see the entire sort of him and Christine relationship now, where he's openly a superhero, everybody knows it, and he's also used to be boyfriend, and she's married now and trying to figure out how their relationship works now. And then out of the blue, this tentacle, one-eyed monster comes out of the blue, and they gotta fight it. America Chavez, Doctor Strange, and you just have this epic fight. Wong shows up, the monster. I just love that you have these weird monsters showing up. It was really cool to me just to see it and to have this sort of just crazy monster where in the end they put a sort of spell in his eye and tear his eye out from his body. It sort of set the tone where, ooh, we're getting a bit darker here. And I enjoyed that. America Chavez explains, the multiverse to both of them, to Doctor Strange and Wong. And then she says that she can't control her star powers. And so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is interesting. And then she shows that the ponytail Doctor Strange is dead. And Doctor Strange decides to go to Wanda. And Wanda is really frustrating because it seems to us, these apple trees, she says it's real. She's given up magic, and she's decided just to be like a farmer, just done with Westview, done with her magic, just calming down. And then it's revealed that this is all fake, and that her entire conversation with Doctor Strange, she's trying to read his mind to figure out what's going on. Well, no, she's not reading his mind. She's just knew about America Chavez, and she's the one that's sending the monsters after them. And this is still the first 20 minutes of the movie, so very fast-paced. And so she is revealed to be the Scarlet Witch. She says she's being reasonable, and she's gonna try to she wants America Chavez to find her boys, and we just see she's in this like abandoned red mist, like it looks basically like a graveyard with a bunch of dead trees, and it just transforms with her magic powers, and it's just crazy. And one of the my main problem with WandaVision was that you have the end of the show, and Monica Rambeau's like, they'll never know what we went through. Well, she made this fake reality, made these fake boys, and then they got taken away from her because she enslaved an entire town, and then she gets to go away without any problem in the world. Like, it's all okay. Kids enslaving towns is fine. You'll get away with it as long as you have superpowers. Nobody cares. It's all fine. No. I feel like they should have pointed out that the actual villain of WandaVision is Wanda. And I don't really know how to think about this movie. I feel like WandaVision might even be better than this movie. And I enjoyed WandaVision. It's like a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Very solid. I enjoyed it until the ending. And then even then, on rewatch, it's not as bad as I remember. So, Doctor Strange, Multiuniverse of Madness, she's the actual villain. And I appreciated that, and I enjoyed that they actually acknowledged she's not a good person. She's done a bunch of horrible things, and she has the character arc from being this girl, and then she had the Scarlet Witch powers. She saved her brother, and then she lost her brother. She made this relationship with Vision. She lost Vision. She had these 2 sons and Vision back, and then she lost them all again, so she's not losing anything else. She just wants her boys back. And you could see where she's coming from, where she's just lost everything else. She's gone to the Darkhold, and she decides, I want everything back, and is going to do whatever it takes, even if it means killing people. And so she turns into a villain, and I just really was like, yes, finally, we're acknowledging everything that she did was wrong, and that she's actually the villain. And so Wong, Doctor Strange, all the other wizards, like, unite in the Sanctum Sanctorum, hard to say, and then we have Wanda show up, and she's just taking them out and killing a ton of them, getting inside their brains. And so she enters, she tries to get America Chavez, and then they jump through the multiverse, she and Doctor Strange, where Wong is taken by Wanda. And then you just have this epic scene where we go through, like, Paint World, we go through Animated World, we go through, like, Block World. And that was probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie, because you just have all these different multi-universes, and it got really crazy and creative, and this was definitely a Sam Raimi scene, where the rest of it really didn't really seem like him, but this really is just craziness, and I enjoyed it. And then we get into this world, and it's like red means go, green means stop, there's pizza balls, and then you have this guy where Doctor Strange puts him under a curse where he has to punch himself, and then he's like, it's gonna be done in 3 weeks, and nice little thing there. And then they go to find Doctor Strange, and you have like this perfect Doctor Strange where he has just a statue of himself in the Doctor Strange museum. And then you have Mordo show up in this movie, not our Mordo, but a different Mordo, and he's one of the Illuminati, and he's like, the Illuminati will see you now, which was in the trailers. And you have like these Ultron bots showing up, and what I wanted from the Illuminati is not exactly what I got. We had Charles Xavier here, we have Captain Carter, we have like this I don't remember his name, but he could speak, and then it just disintegrates everything. And then you have Mr. Fantastic and Mortar. I feel like we probably should have gotten, like, I wanted maybe a civilized, like, super Ultron bot or some crazy stuff in there, but what we did get was fun enough. You know, these are the cameos that we got. Of course, I loved Mr. Fantastic in this movie, and it gets me even more hyped for the Fantastic Four, even though this is a different version of the Mr. Fantastic that we're going to get. I love this Mr. Fantastic. He looks super cool. His performance is great. I loved this guy. Captain Carter, I didn't really care. Oh, you also have Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, which, once again, cool enough, but I don't really care. She seems just like Captain Marvel, except for she's Monica Rambeau. Charles Xavier in this movie, he was cool to see. It's the one from the animated series, which I saw a couple episodes of, and I got a bit of the score, and I'm like, okay, cool. The guy that could speak and it disintegrate stuff is cool enough, and then Mortar being on there makes some sense. But I wanted it to get a bit weirder and have a bit more cameos. This is all we get. We really, really, really did need more. And I just feel that that's what this movie was lacking. Multi-universe of madness. That's all the madness that we get basically in this movie. There's a bit crazy stuff, more crazy stuff, but nothing that really can compete with going through the multiverse scene there. And then these cameos don't even feel like, wow, that's crazy. It feels like, oh, that's cool and nice to see. But I feel like we should have gone into madness and just had like Deadpool show up and all these different things. And just when you're going through these worlds, like maybe we could have a final fight in this world of hands or something crazy, but we didn't 100% get that. So next we have Wanda is trying to possess another version of her, and every other version of her has boys, or the two boys, Billy and Tommy, as their sons. And I don't really feel like the Billy Tommy aspect was played to perfection in this, where they don't seem to have powers and they are just a family. I feel like it could have been more emotional, where it was so emotional in WandaVision. I don't feel like it 100% gets there in this movie. And so she possesses this other WandaVision, this other Wanda, and she's sort of just crying to see her boys again. It's so happy. And then she has to get out, and then she sort of kills this guy because he's trying to destroy the Darkhold, and he does. And then she decides she's going back in. And then we switch over to Doctor Strange. She gets into the body again and is attacking the Illuminati, where they're saying this version of Doctor Strange was actually using the Darkhold to defeat Thanos, and then he found a way to defeat him. They defeated him, and then they had to kill this Doctor Strange, and he decided that's what they had to do. So yeah, I thought that was darker, but I was fine with it. It didn't seem crazy. And then we have this entire Illuminati where they seem so like, yes, Wanda, we could 100% handle her. We can't handle you. And they have America Chavez just in this prison, basically, and there's Christine is there as a scientist, and I feel like that was fine. Like, we didn't really need that 100%, but Christine is just fine, you know. Well. And then we move, and I just loved that Scarlet Witch came, and she kills everybody. She kills Mr. Fantastic. He just turns into ribbons. He's like, do you have a wife? And he's like, yes, I have a wife and children. And she's like, at least the wife will be able to take care of your children. And then she shreds him to pieces. They're like, this guy, he could speak, and then he'll die. And she's like, what mouth does he have to speak with? And he has no mouth, and it's just so creepy and also so cool at the same time. And then for Monica Rambeau, she just disintegrates her, basically. And then Mordo is killed. And, well, I don't know if Mordo was actually killed. He might not have been. I don't really remember. And then we move on, and Charles Xavier gets inside the mind of Wanda. And we have the other Wanda, and he's trying to save her. And he could walk. And it's just really cool. Patrick Stewart did good in this movie, but I don't feel like he really had much to go off of. It was just a little cameo. And so you have just this white space, and it looks so cool. And then Wanda comes in with this red hue, and another really Sam Raimi thing. And she just comes in and just snaps his neck on screen. It's just so cool. It gets that dark, where you have Wanda seriously killing all the Illuminati. Oh, she also kills Peggy Carter. She's cut in half. That is just, I loved how dark that got when Peggy Carter gets cut in half. And then before this, I forgot to mention, Wanda and Wong went to this like super like place where the Darkhold was made, the super evil place, and they've been waiting for the Scarlet Witch so that she could rule them. And you have these like 4 monster beetle guys that look pretty cool. I enjoyed them. And that's where she brings America Chavez. Doctor Strange, then he goes out, and like the entire world is collapsing, and he meets this other Doctor Strange, and they have this super cool battle with using piano notes as like projectiles, and you have this weird music going on. It just sounds so cool and looks so cool. Another very Sam Raimi thing, where we're getting into the crazy Sam Raimi stuff where they're using piano keys to fight each other, and on screen it's just so crazy and weird, and just loved it. And then You have like the weird alternate Doctor Strange open his third eye, and you have him killed. Like you see him on screen just thrown out of the building and slit on a gate and stabbed to death. Another just darker thing that I really just like, yeah, they're going to that place. They're killing it. Characters on screen. Christine comes up and Doctor Strange decides to get into his reality using the dead Doctor Strange. And so you have like this zombie Doctor Strange showing up. It's just so cool. And then you have these, I want to say like demon wraths, black things showing up and saying like you can't enter, you can't shadow, what was it called? It was like, I forgot what it's called. Something walk. That's what Wanda was doing when she possessed her other self into a dead body, and so they're attacking him and he harnesses them and then he fights with them, and it's just like the coolest thing where you have dead zombie wrath controlled insane Doctor Strange fighting Wanda, and it looks awesome. And so America Chavez is like, I'll give you what you want. And so Wong, Doctor Strange, and he's like, hey, America Chavez, I'm not going to take your power, you could use your power. And so she's like, oh, I could do it now. Where America Chavez, I just didn't like her in this movie, I'm sorry. For everybody that really enjoyed her, I didn't find her annoying, but like when she was talking about Spider-Man, I'm sort of tired of them being like, talking about other superheroes and like making jokes about them. Like, really? We really got to do that? But she was fine in this movie. I didn't hate her, I didn't love her, just So she gets her character arc where she could use portals now, and she shows Wanda, other Wanda who has her boys, and she just looks terrifying, our Wanda. She's the Scarlet Witch, she's got the shadow robe, she's got like the blackened fingers, and the boys are terrified of her and like throwing stuff like, get away from our mom, and she's like, I am your mom, where she isn't. And so she decides to give up, and she's like, nobody will ever use the Darkhold again. America Chavez gets out of there. Wanda destroys the entire temple, it falls on her, and Wong gets away, and Strange is still in the other reality. He gets back to his home reality, and then we basically end the movie with him and Wong having a little conversation, fixing Karmitage, well, whatever, Sanctum Sanctorum, Karmitage, wherever it was, and then he's walking, and a third eye appears, end of the movie. And so it was solid enough, it seemed very fast-paced. There's not a huge amount to dissect here like it was in Spider-Man No Way Home or even in Black Widow. Just very basic. It has a very interesting style to it that I loved. And it's still an 8 out of 10 like I said in my other review, but this one, we have 2 post-credit scenes. The first one was just, I'm feeling, seriously, we gotta keep doing this, where Eternals ended and then like, these 2 guys show up. Now in this one, we have this character we've never met before, and she's like, follow me, and she slits the multi-universe, and Doctor Strange opens his third eye, and they both go in there, and it's like, what's gonna happen? I'm like, well, okay, we'll see where that goes. Like, Mordo didn't go anywhere. We don't really know what happened to him. We didn't even meet our Mordo. And then, final post-credit scene, I loved it. You have the guy that's punching himself, and he's like, it's over! It's over! And such a Sam Raimi thing, and then the movie's over. It's just a fun little thing where some MCU things, Baby Groot works, but sometimes they're like, it's finally done. And or you have the post-credit scene where, like, a lion thing is chasing a bird in Thor Dark World. This one, I'm feeling like, yeah, it actually made me laugh. So, solid enough movie. It has its flaws. It has its nice things. 8 out of 10. Not as good as I wanted it to be. That's my spoiler review. Spoil down below. What were your thoughts on the movie? What didn't you like? What did you like? Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Braden out.